What's the difference between a trust and a will, and how do you protect your assets, especially real estate? Hi, everyone. If we haven't met yet, I'm Troy Sage, local realtor, and I'm dedicated to doing real estate differently. And I've been helping people just like you for over 15 years with all of their real estate needs. In this video, I am interviewing the highly accredited and Wall Street Journal featured attorney, Kristi Arlitt, here in the North Dallas, Texas area. We're going to discuss wills and trust and the different nuances between the two of them and what you need in order to protect your assets, especially real estate. This is one part of many parts of the interview that I have with Kristi, so if you'd like to watch the entire interview, check the links in the description. Now let's dive into trust versus a will and how all this works together. What's the difference between a trust and a will?
A will is a document that becomes effective upon the date of death and controls what happens to your assets and your liabilities. A trust is a document that you set up that is effective, or usually is effective, while you are still alive. It can hold assets. It can handle all your business affairs. If you have assets that maybe your family decides that the family members don't want to maintain the assets or invest and figure out what to invest in and how to pay all the bills, and they may go to a trust company or to a bank and say, hey, my parents have all this money or whatever amount of money it is, and they ask the bank to handle the estate while they're still alive. They're still alive. And they normally won't do that unless the assets are put into a trust, because it just eases the process of taking care of the assets. But trusts are operative while you're alive. They can still be operative after you die, because you can make provisions in them for what happens after your passing.
So would a trust include a will, or they're separate?
They're two different documents, totally separate documents.
So a will takes place when you pass.
Correct.
And a trust is in effect while you're alive, and there could be instructions in there that upon you passing, this is what to do with the assets, or this is how to handle whatever.
And a lot of people like trust because a trust is handled back in the office, back at the kitchen table, outside the courtroom. A will goes into the courtroom. Anything that goes into the courtroom is made public. And you have to file an inventory, so you have to list the assets and liabilities. With a trust, if you put everything into a trust, or a goodly amount, you don't have to put everything, but say a goodly amount of your assets, it's all handled behind closed doors with whatever the instructions are in the trust of what's going to happen with those assets at your death.
I was trying to think of the movie, but I know there's movies out there where 10, 15, 20 people are in an attorney's office, and they open the envelope and they
read the will.
And they open it and they say, you get nothing, and you get $1 million, and you've been a bad third cousin, and you get the manure from the farm or whatever. So that would be more of a trust type situation.
Well, no, that would be probably more of a, well, it could be either way.
Like
it could be
if
either
it's
way.
in the attorney's office, right?
Yeah, that's the famous reading of the will. And
Yeah.
I love it because there's this little line that lawyers will put in all the time. And I leave my third child nothing, and they know the reason why.
Yeah.
And I go, why? Why me? Why did I get cut out?
Right.
And that's the classic line that we see in these documents all the time.
And that could be in a will or in a trust.
Either way.
Okay, so a trust is more for when you're here and you're active, you're alive, you're doing things.
And you're moving everything in for management purposes, or because you want everything kept private and you don't want your assets over in the open courtroom where the newspaper or someone can go in and take a look and see what you really had.
Got it. Okay. So I need at least a will. I know that.
Yes.
And if I want all of my stuff aired out to the public, I'm going to keep the will. But if I want to keep it more private, then I'm going to have a trust set up.
Probably.
Right.
Probably.
If I have $1 million or not, depending on my will, or not on my will, that's a funny play on words, on what my decision is. I may want to put a trust together.
Right.
If somebody dies without a will or a trust, I hope that answered your questions in regards to trust versus wills and what you need to do to protect yourself and your assets. If you'd like to stay current on all things real estate, click the subscribe button and the bell so you're alerted every time we upload another video. And stay till the end of this video because I'm going to give you links to the other episodes where Kristi and I talk about real estate and how to protect your assets. Until next time, my friends, make it a great day.